Aboom ana esibo. So there's a breaking news on Chairman Wontumi in the Exim Bank case. Apparently Attorney General accepted plea bargain now. Wontumi lawyers at the bar, and then so back court. And what's sad is that Wontumi edu court around 7 a.m. As at the time when I'm in the reporters, because some minutes of free, some 4-5. That's another side of it. And remember full updates on it after the video. By the video, I'm catching a Deputy Attorney General interview exclusively to TV3. Or chirem ne ya won't be ma sam ne ye fuma wom because the man for that sam ne content them the chirem ne ntia ye fuma no again a man for busa question Eugene, why are they not prosecuting Henry Okumuni and Crawford na ne kwaye galamsey na nkasa ne ye prosecute Wontumi ma chire ne nyina mu so me catch him say me ni answer. So I'll give you that video and I also give you exclusively what I know so far on the Exim Bank is an MPP army kwadwo ponkroma same ewuku omunyina e court nana komia. I don't know what they know, but I'll give you all that just at the end of the video. It's my so be subscribe and subscribe and click the notification the video be to we are. You have a comment, feel free leave that comment in the comment section. We are message also because Goldberry Construction Limited no dana episode sino was and krata some the documentations related to house and the Goldberry ebedi sage man in the amount can say or bring pomba or addiction related to trauma related to jet care or bring pomba or be show na bibia kama at the amount yen could see Deputy Attorney General Wontumi some near from a bad that just on Exim Bank no me the amount.
If you are innocent, the manner in which you even conducted yourself to the latter end is as if you knew that you didn't have a defense. And I don't know if you have had the opportunity to read the judgment, but most of the evidence that we have, the pieces of evidence that we have, which the judge relied on, came from their defense. Defense witnesses, the accused person's own comments, his own witness statement, his own police statement. Those were the materials that form the basis for the conclusion of the judgment. So it will be shocking. It is shocking to me, but that they would say is political persecution. But I understand what we do. This is politics in a way. I mean, what they are doing is politics, and they issued that statement, or they had a press conference when they had not seen the judgment. So do you expect them now that they've seen the judgment, they will go back and say what we said was wrong? They would never do that. They would rather double down and say things. But so far, I don't think anyone has pointed to any aspect of the judgment that they believe strongly that is so erroneous.
What we have heard them say around the case itself, and perhaps you throw a bit more light on it when you say that the judgment relied on defense statements and that the accused own testimonies as well. Could that be the reason they say that from the get-go, the state didn't have a case against Chairman Wontumi?
No. You see, the fact that you rely on defense, lawyers will say the best evidence is evidence which is from your adversary. You know, if you accuse someone of stealing and the person comes to say, indeed, I stole, that is the best form of evidence. So that cannot be the basis for their saying that it's political persecution. It shows that they knew that they have done something, or they did something wrong, or they breached the law. And indeed, look, the law says 2 counts, okay? One is about allowing someone else to mine on the concession without the minister's approval. The other one is saying that you conducted some activities in a mining concession without, without also basically authorization, right? The only thing that the defense or the accused person has said in all this is that, first of all, he admitted that he indeed allowed the guy to go onto the concession. This is someone whom everyone knows is a galamsey person. If you allow a galamsey person, okay, to go onto your concession at a time when galamsey was the major problem in that area, and his witnesses testified to that, his own witnesses, the former Western Regional Minister, admitted that the former Deputy Minister for Lands and Natural Resources and Honorable Mrekuduka, they all said, look, galamsey was the most important issue that threatened national security at the time.
But he said at the time he didn't know that that was what they were going to do on the land.
Yes, he said that is what that is.
And we are not going to retry the case.
No,
just to put it into perspective.
Yeah, he said he has maintained one thing, that I sent a gentleman there to do reclamation. I did not ask him to do mining. Okay. The gentleman said, you and I knew from day one that I was going to do mining because it was reclamation. Why didn't you give me any money or anything to go and do the reclamation? The guy was going to plant coconut. So the guy drove from wherever he lives, be it Kumasi, he drove past all lands, all possible places of planting or investing into coconut plant, and decided that he will go to Samreboi, okay, not to plant the coconut, but to reclaim the land first, plant coconut on it, and then how many years time coconut will grow for him to get profit. Even if that is business, does it make any practical sense that if you want to plant coconut, you didn't find any place in the whole of places that coconut will grow, but on a particular galamsey site? You know, when you put all this together, I don't think you need even an adult to come to this conclusion that the story doesn't add up. But that is beside the point. A judgment has been given. We know as lawyers the way to, you know, if you believe that the judgment is wrong, you appeal or you do use other processes to correct it. That is not to say that they do not have the right to say what they are saying. They have the right to say they don't believe that the judgment was fair. They have the right to say it is political persecution. They have the right to say the accused, the prisoner is now a prisoner of politics or political prisoner. That is within their right. But as to whether it is correct, I think that's what we are discussing. And I hold a view that there's no basis for those conclusions that they are reaching.
And this person in question we are talking about in regards to the coconut farm story is the accused person turned prosecution witness.
Yeah, is a prosecution witness.
Okay. Could the state have done this case without those two who now became prosecution witness?
Yeah, we could. Just that it becomes easier to do it when you are having someone who is involved in the matter. Before we even, when the police arrested these guys, they had prepared a docket and they brought everything to us, and we saw merit in the docket before we took the decision to convict them. But you see, there is a policy behind the fight, the NDC's fight against galamsey. The policy is that yes, those on the ground in the galamsey are breaching the law, but they couldn't be there and they couldn't successfully do what they are doing without some big, rich, influential, as they call them, kingpins behind it. So you'll be wasting your time clearing the guys who are on the grounds at any particular time, because when you clear them, new ones will come, because it's a very lucrative business for them. So new ones will come. So why won't you go to the source? So that is the policy within the policy, you know, statement that we were making.
So Wontumi was a target?
No, it's not as if it's the target. If you say it's the target, as if he was sitting somewhere and nothing was happening and went for him.
Oh, but if you're going for it after a kingpin, as you described him, then he will be your target. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, going for a kingpin doesn't mean that the kingpin is the target. And all the opportunities that were open to Jedu to plea bargain were also open to Wontumi. And he took advantage of the plea bargain. So it's not as if we said Wontumi cannot do plea bargain, Jedu come and do plea bargain, let's get Wontumi. No. Plea bargain law is available for everyone. And as you can see, he has chosen where to plea bargain.
Sure.
So he could have chosen this one to plea bargain. And even the one ongoing to plea bargain. So Jedu decided that I'm going to plea bargain, and he got his bargain and his reward or whatever it is. And Okum did the same thing. Wontumi said he was not going to. So it's not as if, it's not a question of target. If he wasn't involved, there's no way anybody would have got him into this case at all.
Right. Did Chairman Wontumi get a free and fair trial?
I believe strongly that he had a fair trial.
A fair trial.
A very fair trial. In fact, the trial was so fair in his favor that the prosecution, we felt that we were even treated a bit unfairly. And I gave you, I mean, from the beginning, I explained to you why we believe so, yeah.
I want to talk about the Professor Frimpong Boateng report, because it was it's a hot topic during the campaign period. In fact, the NDC at the time in opposition had promised that it will take it much more seriously than the government of the day. what have you done with it as the Attorney General's office?
So we have received investigative reports. We have made further directions to, we're giving further directions to investigators to gather other evidence for us to form an opinion on it. And that's what happens with dockets. The investigators, the police, they bring the first report, we look at it, we find gaps, we ask them to fill the gaps and then bring them back until we are certain that we have filled all the gaps. Then we take the step to go and then prosecute.
How soon will people see prosecution?
I cannot tell at this point because I don't know what is happening on the field with the investigators.
I see. But how interested is the AG's office in this report?
If we're not
how would you?
If we're not interested, the government is interested in it. And if we're not, and we have told Ghanaians that we are going to work on it. If we are not interested, I don't think we will make any of such promises or claims to Ghanaians.
Well, those are claims, but action. Do you feel that the action is matching the claim?
I've just told you what has happened. I just told you that there was investigative report, which we have identified gaps and have asked for further evidence. But why shouldn't we be interested in it? And if we are not interested in it, why should we ask them to go and investigate or give us a report in the first place?
Move on to something else.
And let me just say this. And I will be very happy if you can let the public know this. We are so grateful to our investigators on these cases. The police, the IGP in particular, the director of CID, they have been very, 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 effective, very efficient in supplying us with information to do these prosecutions. Iyoko, the same way, and the people who work in this institution, they are Ghanaians like all of us, ordinary average Ghanaian, but they give so much. And if I tell you what these guys go through to get us to court and to succeed in these prosecutions, you'll be amazed. And then the state attorneys, these are young lawyers who have put in all their best, and you could see this country has a future because I feel excited when I see such young people who are so committed and they give their all. They hardly sleep. They are working around the clock just to get things done. I think that it's a proper platform to say thank you to all of them for all that they have done.
Yes, it's a man. I made it an opinion. I made it and say, "You're and there could be only court as at the time I made, but only court or you're absent." Meaning, say, be a different lawyer being a representative to me in the Exim Bank. Because Exim Bank is on a good lawyer. No. Now, could you come now court because a man ya plea bargain then means that they need to do case management conference. Now, if you now Attorney General Boninkro or we are and they want to mean so na Wontumi aka. That will be the process because the process they didn't even initiate na Wontumi aka so be plea bargain. Say plea bargain no 30 days. The man to me anya 30 days. Some call back to the court. Some call court last 2 weeks na court more extension still no. Na yet say Attorney General scanner won't minimum amount ni nyina. But I don't want to lead the conversation. When him say me need clearance. I mean to me fair mamo. If I have the clearance, I actually have document a minute of some meeting or maybe by a year, me brief na me the mamo. That is the update on that. Feel free share your view in the comments. Section. You are not subscribed. Mamo subscribe. You are not click bell notification. No. What show you? Edi amame me hiao. Ghana su hiao. Bye bye.